Welcome to the show, guys. We are back at it. And today we're talking about three, count them, 1, 2, 3 running backs. Should you trust them or will they bust? And they are big names. We're talking big names. Two of them are veterans, and one of them is a young guy that really broke out this year. But the question is, should we trust them for fantasy football 2024? That is the big question. We're going to answer in a deep dive into some stats. We're going to break it down. Before we get into this, before we start talking running backs, make sure you guys do subscribe and smash that thumbs up. Lion Mentality family, we're going to get together. We're going to talk fantasy all year long. Get comfortable, pull up a seat, pull up a chair. The truth to fantasy is here. The cookie cutter days are over, guys. The days where everybody would just copy and paste rankings. We're ending that. We're moving forward. We're projecting forward. We think outside the box. We don't do what everyone else does. If the herd is going this way, we're going the other way. That's why we win every year. That's why we spot guys like Tank Dell, Sam Laporta before everyone else does. That's how we spot Josh Allen. Remember we spotted Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes the year they broke out? Because we saw that. Everyone was saying Baker Mayfield is way better than Josh Allen. And Josh Allen has smashed in the past couple years in fantasy. And that's just one example. There was a year when literally Damian Williams, if you guys remember him, was ranked ahead of Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry had this major breakout year. And no one's being held accountable. Nobody. The mainstream consensus just lie to you. They deceive you. They copy and paste. So if you want truth, guys, you believe in the Lion Mentality, smash thumbs up. If you're here in the offseason, I give you guys a ton of credit, man. To be here in the offseason, amazing. Smash thumbs up, Lion Mentality. Drop the word Lion below. And also going to be doing some breaking news here on Shorts and Reels. So you want to turn on that bell. You don't want to miss anything for NFL news and notes as well. All right. Once you've done your Lion, you've dropped your line, you smash your thumbs up. Let's talk about these three running backs that are kind of questionable. You know, they're going to probably be relatively high draft capital, particularly the one guy. And I see the Kashibs is doing some mock drafts, and this guy's coming off round one. The first guy I want to talk about is Kiron Williams, okay? A lot of questions about him. So if you don't know, let me get you guys up to speed on him. This guy came out of Notre Dame, whatever you want to call it. 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons there in college. He was a relatively good workhorse out of Notre Dame, okay? Not bad. 5th-round pick, all right? 5th-round pick by the Rams, not bad. Finished 7th in PPR this past year and only played 12 games. Now, that's remarkable. Being a 5th-round pick, he wasn't a rookie. Understand, guys. This guy was acquired in 2022. His first year, he did nothing. Cam Akers was there. Cam Akers, now with the Vikings, got hurt on the Vikings. Either way, his rookie year, Kiron Williams did absolutely nothing. He had like 35 attempts, 139 yards, had like 30 fantasy points. Okay, did absolutely nothing. And this year, with Darrell Henderson getting hurt, he only played 4 games. Kiron had an opportunity to emerge. Now, I don't know what's going on with Darrell Henderson, and Royce Freeman did absolutely nothing. Royce Freeman had like 77 attempts on the season. So they really had nobody else there. And Kiron, he stepped up. He really stepped up. And great value, like I said, 5th-round pick. That, to give that type of ROI and put these numbers up is really impressive. 12 games, 1,144 yards, 5 touchdowns. Man, I can't even read today, okay? And he had a couple receiving, I think 3 receiving touchdowns, okay? So got it done in the receiving game, got it done. He could have had more rushing touchdowns, but again, he only played 12 games. Give him some credit here, okay? 1,000-yard rusher in his, what we call, not a rookie season, but his second year where he actually got the opportunity. 267 PPR fantasy points, 267, all right? 5'9", 194. So I'm just breaking this down for you. I'm just giving you guys the background information. Had a great year, only played 12 games, finished 7th in PPR. Let's recap this, and had the opportunity. A big factor is, what are the Rams going to be doing this year? Are they going to be acquiring another running back? How much volume is he going to get? Those are some questions that linger around Kiron Williams. Now, again, the upside is he did amazing in only 12 games. That is the upside. But how is the team going to look next year? Are they bringing in somebody else? That's a big question mark. Okay, Darrell Henderson being hurt, what happens there? Does he come back, get some more work? I don't even know. I haven't looked at the contract of Darrell Henderson and what's going on there. The big question, and we're going to find out more in April, May, is who else is in that committee? That's the biggest question. Once we find out, we're going to get a better idea. But as of right now, Kiron Williams is going to be very expensive. I'm thinking mid to late first round is my guess, based on where he finished last year. Part of me feels like he's fool's gold. I'm not really sold. I mean, the upside is there, and that's exciting. But again, this is very situational on who they bring in, how that offense looks this year, and what's going on. That is a big question mark, but he definitely proved he's got that upside. He's like a Puka player, right? Puka Nacua, amazing year, but Cooper Kupp's still going to be there. How's Stafford going to do? Like, again, so many question marks, right? And that's how I feel with Kiron Williams. The talent is there. He looks dynamic. He looks great. Okay? Is that going to continue for this next year, 2024? That's a big question mark. As of right now, I don't really trust him. I don't feel warm and fuzzy, but part of me is like, I like the ceiling, but I am skeptical about 5th round picks being amazing. Mind you, like I said, he did okay in college, a couple 1,000-yard, seasons, right? Did okay. 2 1,000-yard seasons in college. So, and he got the volume, the attempts and all that. Again, I got to see what they do in the draft and how this all fizzles up. But as of right now, ceiling high, lots of upside. I personally don't feel warm and fuzzy in January. Where are we? January 24th, the time of this recording right now. But I could be wrong. People come back to this video and say, Joe didn't feel warm and fuzzy. And look, he broke out. He's the number 1 running back in the NFL. Very possible. He's good. I'm not knocking him, man. I'm not knocking him. I'm not pulling an Austin Eckler, knocking him like I did Eckler and Pollard. They busted last year. I don't have that same feeling with him. Like last year, everyone told you Eckler and Pollard round 1. Like, I don't feel these guys. I don't have that feeling with Kiron right now. I feel like he's really good and there's some opportunity. I just got to see how things fizzle out, okay? So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you feeling warm and fuzzy about him? As of right now, not 100% warm and fuzzy, but I'm not getting that Pollard Eckler feeling from last year, okay? That's my thoughts on it. Number 2 here is a veteran. He finished sixth in the PPR, also 267 fantasy points, 257 attempts, 1,000 yards, 1,034, 9 touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns as well. He's 28 years old. The guy I'm talking about is Joe Mixon. Now, the Bengals acquired Chase Brown, who averaged 4.1 yards per carry compared to Mixon's, I think he had 4 yards per carry. Chase Brown was a 5th round pick who had an all-time high 11 attempts in week 18. So Joe Mixon, again, I looked at his contract. It looks like he signed a 2-year, $11.5 million deal. He just gets paid over $5 million a year. Joe Mixon is in a season where he has to perform and do really well. But do I trust a guy who's going to be 28 years old by the time the season starts, number 1? And number 2, there's a chance, I think he can out this contract. There's something saying there's an out in the clause or something like that. I don't know if Chase Brown is a deal too. He's a 5th round pick as well, but we saw the success with Kiron Williams prior to this as his 5th round pick, doing really well when the volume is there. So, like I said, Chase Brown had 11 attempts in week 18. That was his high on the year. And Joe Mixon is older. Now, the Bengals could do better next year. A healthy Joe Burrow, a healthy Chase, it could be a really good offense. But is Burrow going to stay safe? How's the offense going to run? Are they going to integrate Chase Brown more, knowing this is the last year in Joe Mixon's contract? Is Joe Mixon going to be playing hard so he gets acquired by another team? But when you're looking at a guy who's like 28 years old, is he really going to be playing hard to get he's not going to get a mega contract. They're not going to pay a 29-year-old Joe Mixon a mega deal. So how hard is he going to be working next year? Big question marks. For me, I don't trust him at all. I mean, he did get the attempts, 257. Is that going to continue next year, or are they grooming and building up the young Chase Brown? I think that's what they're going to be doing. Maybe get some value with Chase Brown later and fade Joe Mixon. And I don't know where his ADP is going to be. Again, he was a top 10 guy. He's not really a Ken-Sheets' kind of guy. He's been in the league a long time. He may be a 2nd round pick, but I don't know if I'm going to invest in him that high as well. And the 3rd guy, again, drop a comment below. Let me know. Lion, if you're a Lion mentality, drop the word Lion below, smash thumbs up, and let me know what you guys think. Do you trust these guys? Kiron, do you agree? High ceiling, hard to trust. Joe Mixon, avoiding completely. Let me know. Love to get your feedback. Again, these guys are top 10 guys. They finished top 10 last year. So there's going to be some copy and pasting based on ADP, okay? 3rd guy here, number 3, is Alvin Kamara. Listen, I like Alvin Kamara. Talent-wise, he's good. But he's going to be entering his 8th season. He's going to be 29 years old by the time the season starts next year. And the guy has never, here's a fact about Alvin Kamara. The guy has never, and you guys can say, oh, well, he does it in receiving yet, blah, blah, blah. He has never in his 7 years in the NFL rushed over 1,000 yards. And hey, last year wasn't that good. He only had 1 receiving touchdown last year, and he had 5 rushing touchdowns. Where he got his points in particular fantasy games, he made it up in receptions and receiving yards. So he'd catch like 7 balls and run for 50 yards or something like that, right? So then you get a big bunch of points there. You get like 5-10 rushes for 50 yards. He makes it up, but he's not putting up a lot of yardage. He's not putting up a lot of touchdowns. He's entering his 8th season and he's gonna be 29 years old. So that's a big fade for me, man. I'm staying away from a guy who's old, who's washed, and he's going to have it out. I saw in his contract as well, there's a potential out for him as well. He's not fighting for a mega contract at 29 years old, similar to Joe Mixon. When you are looking at running backs, you look at a running back draft strategy, you're looking at the top 10 running backs, make sure that young dynamic players are what you're targeting. So a Kiron Williams, who's young and hungry with a chip on his shoulder, was a 5th round pick, is more appealing than the belly full Joe Mixon and Alvin Kamara, who've been paid, incentivized, and have kind of reached the pinnacle. What you've seen is what you get out of these guys, and I don't trust them. So these 3 guys, let me know what you think. Kiron Williams, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, I don't trust any of them. But if I look at it, the upside goes to Kiron Williams. That's who I'd roll with out of these 3. But he's going to be the most expensive. And I think the Chiefs know that, and he finished higher than the other guys. Well, Mixon technically, theoretically finished, I think, one position higher than Joe Mixon finished 1 position higher than Kiron Williams. They had 6th in PPR compared to 7th, but they had similar fantasy points. But either way, Kiron has more of a ceiling. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Appreciate your feedback, and subscribe, thumbs up, Lions, thumbs up, and keep the content rolling for you guys, throughout the offseason. I appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. I'm out.